My friend is very good at looking into people, if you see what I mean. Getting a read on them, finding out what exactly they are. And she swears blind that the first time she saw this girl, she was one of us, and the second time she saw this girl, she wasn't. This is someone I put through the hot step when she told me this, because she never lies, but I made sure that she wasn't lying, if you see what I mean. I made sure that she wasn't lying to me, and she wasn't. Her read on this girl was absolutely true. Now, it could be that she mistook, it could be that she genuinely believes something that isn't actually true, but she believes it, therefore I believe her. So, that's the story, but in terms of the where and the when, well, more the where, that is what you have to pay for, my good friend, Mr. Ali.
I'd like to insight check him. Does he believe he's telling me the truth? Clearly he can be wrong, his story makes no sense, but does he believe it? A 6 with a crit.
I'll tell you this. He genuinely believes that this friend of his that told him about this woman that was a vampire and is now immortal was telling him the truth as far as she believed it. You can also glean quite clearly with the extravagance of that result that he is keeping more than a couple of things from you. You expect that to a certain degree given that he wants you to pay for some of that information, but there may be more to it than he's letting on. In fact, there definitely is. The other thing, again, critical success here, he is nowhere near as incompetent as he appears.
I just stop and I turn and I look at Sasha and I say, thank you for welcoming me to your city so warmly and bringing me into the presence of such a learned and wise man as this. I appreciate you, my sister.
Right now it's like, really, you're welcome.
Then I turn and I look back at him.
Julia is smiling at Sasha from behind Ali and going...
I turn and I look back at Felix and I say, here are my terms, Mr. Felix.
Yes, well, Mr. Lodds, but Felix is fine.
Mr. Lodds, I mean no disrespect.
None taken.
I am aware that the Tremere have certain capabilities of tracking in pursuit. You are able to illuminate the path that the certain person walks. Is this so?
Well, we don't like to brag, but yes. Some of us can. Some of us can.
Bring my sister and my acolyte to this person. Guide us directly to this person who can now walk in the daylight, and you may name your price, and it will be paid.
Oh, no. Payment first, guidance later. I wasn't embraced yesterday, Mr. Ali, and I know enough about snakes to know that they will slither out of my grasp as soon as they can. As soon as you see a little hole to crawl into, there you'll go.
I choose not to take offense at your words.
I would like to pat Ali on his back and say, hey, I think like we have a thing going on in here, but we need to negotiate what is, the proper price for us. So can we just go and discuss something and then we'll go back and make a deal? Does that sound good?
Julia, remain here with Mr. Lodge if you would, and we will return shortly. And I do leave and go with Sasha.
Okay, I'd like to go actually outside, being a little bit scared of the fact that whatever shenanigans are going on inside of the store, he might still be eavesdropping on us with some devices or whatever. I don't know what he's keeping here. And as we are outside of the store, I look at Isaiah and that with a straight face. Look, are you here? I just need to get some truth from you. Are you serious about paying him after the whole deal? Once we find that person, we confirm it's a human, do you have the money?
Of course.
Okay, so we're making a deal.
Money is no object and reputation is everything, of course, if he possesses the information he says And if it is borne out to be true, it is literally priceless. Unfortunately, I do not believe this fiction, although I am quite certain he believes it.
Sasha has no reason at all to not believe Isaiah here. So, with a little bit of a wait in here, I count on you. You will bring in money after we find a human, okay? And I am going to deal with Felix right now. Sounds good?
In times like this, I have found when both parties have good cause to be distrustful, half now, half later, are usually suitable terms.
I'm not sure he's going to agree to that.
But for the first time, Isaiah shows any emotion at all. He reaches out and puts his hands on Sasha's shoulders and looks at her and says, but if our Lord does in fact walk these streets, every moment we delay is one moment further away from the restitution of the rightful way of things, from the kingdom of God manifesting on earth. Do you understand? The money is of no consequence, only his truth and cooperation.
Yeah, that thing, exactly. All right, let's go make a deal.
Can I open the door and come back in?
Your attendant isn't at all talkative.
Yeah, I would say I would have had Julia knows in times like that when I leave her a place, she's not supposed to make eye contact with anyone because she knows what kindred are capable of.
Yeah. Outstar, sorry, you were saying just as you were entering the store.
Yeah, no, actually beforehand, Sasha would like to take a wallet from their pocket of their huge baggy jeans they're wearing. So they have a wallet, right? And inside that wallet, there's basically no money. But there's a lot of receipts. Receipts for any sort of stuff. Just some bubble gum, things that he never, or they never, or she never, any would just, eat or drink or whatever. But there's just things that were bought for particular reasons and the receipts were never let out. They would take one of these receipts and start writing something on the back of it. And then with the pile of receipts, I would like to enter the room and activate chemistry. Mm-hmm. And make an illusion that this is a lot of money. A lot of money.
Yeah, you're not your average minister.
I would like that to succeed very badly. If it doesn't, plan B. But I guess I roll.
Well, it is, yeah, you will have to roll because it's against a vampire.
Yes. My hunger is 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Whew.
I mean, if you leap across the desk at Felix, that's going to make things take a disastrous turn.
Okay. 5 successes.
This is it, is it?
I'm basically giving the receipts.
You're giving him a wodge of notes.
Yes, and one of these receipts on the back, it has a little note from me saying, Felix, I'm so sorry. I'm going to bring you money after. I promise. And a little smiley face.
So yes, if he keeps studying it for the next few hours, with a couple of fangs, in a few hours when they turn into a pile of receipts again, he will see your note and hopefully not frenzy.
Exactly.
Well, this is generous. I think we can do business. Yes. Okay, well, that's fine. So I've not encountered this fledgling myself, but as I say, I know the location. I can point you right to it, and then I suppose away you go. And you know where I am. I'm not moving anywhere, so if I tell a lie, come back and burn my store down.
We will make sure to do so, Felix. Thank you so much, dude. You're the best.
Yes, it's definitely would be an unfortunate loss of knowledge, and yet unavoidable.
Well, she was spotted, and he notes down the location of the Walgreens, opposite Luxembourg House, just a couple of weeks ago, early evening, but early enough that the sun was up, and again, my friend was able to see that she wasn't everything she claimed. Everything that we thought she was.
Excuse me, your information is that she was seen on a public street weeks ago. I require much more than this in exchange for the compensation you are requesting.
Fine. Of course, you are paying me very handsomely. 2 weeks ago, she was in Walgreens. It's a store from which you buy things like bread and milk. And she was in there, and she was carrying around a shopping bag with a group of people, a group of women, it was described to me. They all appeared to be a little cautious, a little nervous, but they were gathered in a clump, not like a gang, but like an outing, you know? Like a school outing, I suppose, would be close to it. And they were wandering around the aisles, picking up their bread, their milk, and so on. But it was definitely the same girl, my friend said, and my friend had a good look at her, and yes, mortal as the day.
Who is this friend?
Yeah, that.
Oh, I couldn't possibly say. That's something I need to keep very close to my chest. Yeah, I must.
Felix!
I'm sorry, but confidence is very important to me, and she wouldn't like it. She wouldn't like it if I told you her name. So trust me on this. As I say, I'm not going anywhere. If I'm telling a lie, then come back here with your Molotov cocktails.
One other piece of business before we depart.
Yes.
You so freely shared with Sasha the nature of this strange person. I must request you do not share this with anyone else, nor the fact that we have come here seeking her.
Oh, my lips are sealed, Mr. Ali. Now this payment is enough to lodge in my esophagus and prevent another word from escaping my lips. Not that I intend to eat it, mind you.
You are a curious man, Mr. Felix. And then I turn and just walk out.
Sasha is visibly uncomfortable for the duration of the talk, knowing that this loyalty is not going to last for long.
No.
But with a lot of smiles and waves, they just walk outside.
And I just, as we're leaving, I just say, Julia, please do make a note that if this man crosses us, this building should be burned to the ground. Sasha, I believe I have an understanding of where we might seek out this person.
Okay, after you.
Do you know of, in the area of this Walgreens, if there are any sort of rehabilitation centers, drug treatment facilities, places that normally we find are more malleable converts?
So Sasha is a sandman, and I would assume that it could be one of their feeding spots, back in the days at least. Would Sasha have that information?
Yeah, I would say so. In fact, it's somewhere you tried to feed once and you were very firmly rebuked from. So this place, Luxembourg House, which is a shelter, was somewhere you thought, yeah, as you say, you're a sandman. Going into a big communal living space like that makes for a nice buffet if you're feeling hungry. However, on that occasion, you discovered there was already a kindred on the premises who did not want you there, and rather than having a fight, you just looked at each other, agreed to part silently, and you fed elsewhere that time. Yeah.
Alright, Mr. Ali, so that, okay, I didn't think about it, but there is a place in there, and it's called Luxembourg something. There is a lot of, I think, recovery drug addicts and people like that inside. The issue is, at least a few months ago, there was a kindred working there. Because I kind of broke into one night and I was stopped by this guy that looked like one of us, and we just had a very silent agreement for me to leave very quickly. And then I never went into premises. So, yes, but also it is not very, safe for me to go in, probably. Hopefully they will forget me.
We will tread cautiously, and yet I think that is the next place for us to investigate.
Alright. Can I borrow some of your powers to make my face look different for a moment?
That is not how it works, but there are many mysteries that I can impart upon you. And I know that we were about to switch scenes, so he goes into a very lengthy and far overstated traditional explanation of obfuscate, being like how the great god Set uses the frills of his cobra hood to shade our faces from the unworthy. Like, it's just way overdone of how it works.
Sasha regrets asking a minute into that.
Yes. Joe, you're in the Three Bears in Zingaretti's office again for the first time in several months. Oh, fuck! Didn't expect to see you again.
Oh, didn't you, Zingaretti? I don't know, you kind of made the call. Did you really not think... I mean, what did you think was gonna happen when you...
I didn't know that you made it out. I thought they'd send someone else. How are you doing since you were last down here? Keeping well?
Yeah, I'm super well. Zingaretti, enough of the crap. First question. How the hell did you see this playing out? We've come on the information that you've given us. We're gonna walk away. Why isn't Blumenau then not gonna kill you tonight for betraying her again?
She stopped. She cut me off. Mr. Smith. She stopped feeding me what I needed, and I realised that my loyalties were to the family because they always treated me well until Blumenau moved in and started providing me with what I needed. I was good back then, back when Ornella was in charge. But I just thought if I called the family again, I might get some help, and I guess get back in the good books, you know?
Oh, really? That's... yeah.
So, I mean, do you have anything for me?
No.
Because I'm really struggling here, Mr. Smith. It's been a few months now, and I can feel myself getting older. I got checked out by the doctor, who said I had high blood pressure, and my blood pressure's been fine. I don't think I'm well, and
hell, that's a real big sob story there, Zingaretti. My heart is bleeding for you.
If it could, I would be so grateful. I just need a mouthful to get me back on the straight and narrow, and then I guess we can talk business. Could you do that for me? You or your friend? I'm not like you. I'm not like him. So no. You know, you can't bite me, you fucking freak.
I begin looking around the room, trying to recall. I'm pretty sure last time the whole deal with this office was rather enclosed, rather private.
Yes, it was indeed. You've got a pair of double doors that are closed behind you. You have a world map on the wall, which is plated in gold in places. You've got some of his gold discs from where he was a music producer up on the wall. But it all looks a little dishevelled compared to when you were last here, as if his patronage from Baron Blumenau has come to an end.
I briefly just run my hands over my silenced pistols, currently in my belt. I'm thinking to myself, do I do this now? Yeah, there's no way I can properly talk to this guy with Jimmy fucking Pudinesca. I look at Jimmy and say, Jimmy, why don't you tell our friend Zingaretti about that time there was that guy down the east side who had a similar thing going on? Why don't you tell him that story? You love telling that story about what you did to that guy.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Zingaretti, sir, if you could put your hands out on the desk, I'll show you what we did to that guy.
As Jimmy goes forward and begins rambling, I wait a few seconds, pull out both my pistols, and begin unloading both clips into Jimmy. I know he's a ghoul. No chances.
He has enough time, as you say, he is a ghoul of your good old Uncle Mo, to turn around, to acknowledge the fact that he has several can-size holes bursting out of his chest and stomach in a what the and he even has enough wherewithal, even as his spine is shot through, his hand, just muscle memory maybe, grips for his gun, but it can't keep hold of it. And he crumples, he concertinas to the floor. Zingaretti lets out a shout, he stands up. Ah! Ah! What? Why did you do that? Why did... You're the...
I raise a gun to Zingaretti and say, shush. I walk over. I briefly look down at Jimmy and just say one, like he said, bada bing bada boom, straight to the head, right? You weren't a funny guy, Jimmy. Now, Zingaretti, what I've just done there, I think lets you know, you're not a fucking idiot, that I am not happy to be back here. So, tell me the fucking truth. You are Edith Blumenau's little pet.
No!
Monkey. What pet?
No.
Pet. What are you doing?
No, she genuinely, she cut me off. After that business with you and your family coming down here, she thought I was compromised, but she had enough, she liked me enough, I guess, to not just outright drop me in the ocean. Maybe that's how she had showed that she would like me, I don't know. But she just cut me off. She said, that's it, our business dealings are done. She's going to take over the casino as soon as I'm aged out, is what she said. And she just left me to fester. I think she enjoys this kind of thing. Look, I only went against the family. I only went against Donatello Giovanni because Ornella just disappeared. You know she disappeared, and when she disappeared I had no one else to drink from, and then Edith Blumenau comes in with an offer of a vein, and so I drink from Edith Blumenau. And everything was roses, and then Edith Blumenau backs away, and now I'm here, and he drops to his knees and shuffles around to your side of the desk, completely blanking the bleeding body that is marking his perfectly mahogany floorboards, and he puts his hands together. He says, please, Mr. Smith, John, I just need a mouthful of your blood, and I'll tell you anything. I'll do anything. I can't die like this. I'm feeling my organs dying one at a time. When I try to wake up...
You really think I care about your well-being, Zingaretti? You really think I care? I swear to... You really think that I give you some blood, you help me, I leave, that you're gonna... This is Edith Blumenau's town. This is Edith Blumenau's town. She already probably knows that you brought people here. Me.
Well, then take me with you. When you leave, I'll come with you to New York. I can make business
I ain't going back to New York. I just killed that guy. I'm not...
well...
You're a bit of a... You.
I'm just hungry, that's all. I'm just hungry. Please.
I think to myself, if anything, this will make him more reliable. Fine, help your bloody self, you leech. And I quickly offer him my wrist. Yeah, okay, that's enough. You've had your fill, Cinderella, come on.
Oh, Ma fell off the wagon again.
Look, Zingaretti, here's what you're gonna do.
He gets up and he dusts his knees off. Well, So yeah, can feel both lungs working again now.
As he is getting up, I take out a vial from my pocket containing a small sample of my Vita even, and I go over to the body and attempt The oblivion art of ashes to ashes. I know it doesn't work on kindred, but on normal mortals it works instantly.
You don't have to roll for that. I like that a lot.
So that's a rouse check.
Yeah. You can make your rouse check just to see whether you then dive onto Zingaretti.
I do not. That's a success.
Okay. Before your eyes, and before the eyes of Zingaretti, the body of Jimmy Putanesca disintegrates into greasy smears on the mahogany floor. The bloodstains are still there. Zingaretti actually hand waves it and says, "Don't worry, the cleaners know better than to ask."
Well, that's reassuring.
So, the girl that came with you last time, and he actually pats you on the arm. We're friends again, aren't we now?
No. Start speaking.
Oh. Well, the girl who came with you last time, yeah. She's still around. She's still in AC.
How the hell is that even remotely possible?
I don't know, I just run a casino.
More importantly...
even then, that's,
Focus, Zingaretti. I give him a slap in the face. Focus. Eyes. How the hell is Blumenau allowing a story that you've just apparently just decided to gossip? How is she allowing that to get out of her city? How many people have you told?
Allow me to impress you, Mr. Smith. When you were here last, you found recording devices in your hotel room, did you not? You never asked me about them, because you checked out before all that. But you found recording devices. Well, Mistress Blumenau... Just Blumenau now. She didn't think enough of me. She underestimated me. And she carried on doing business in my function rooms, where I was still recording every single conversation and listening to her sweet, parasitic voice every single time. And I've been listening, and I know that this girl is still in the city because Edith Blumenau has got her under lock and key. A place called Luxembourg House. She's got her for testing. They did some kind of ritual on her. They said that something sent her into what you call torpor, and then she was brought back to life through mortal means, whatever that means. And it was something to do with the drug, something to do with the ritual. There was something, I don't know, it's all above my head. But I can even supply you with the recording, because now that we're buddies. So yeah, that's what I know. I'm so glad you came back to AC, because I think if you hadn't, I probably would have been jumping on people hoping they were kindred. That's what you call yourselves, isn't it?
I let out a very low sigh, and then I just backhand him once, saying, "You idiot. You could have just kept your mouth shut and everything would be fine, and no one would know she was here then. Is that what you're telling me? But no, you needed your fix."
But, well, what was I supposed to do? I'm not going to drill the earth for Vitae. I need it from someone like you. Now you're here, let me tag along.
Family don't give a fuck about you. You know that. They ain't gonna come help. They sent me to finish your loose end that apparently exists, because I managed to convince them that I didn't fuck up and that everything here was taken care of. They've sent me back either to bring her with me or kill her, and then I'm probably gonna get killed anyway regardless, if Blumenau doesn't kill me first. This is what you have caused, Zingaretti, you little... Aye!
What do you want from me? I'm not going to apologize. No one was giving me the blood anymore. What, you want me to be sorry?
Oh, I really don't care about your little sob story, man. I really don't care. Look, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna come with me now. I'm gonna make sure this is all true. And then, I don't know, like... You can let Blumenau now, I want a word. She said she'd keep her safe. This doesn't sound safe. It does not sound safe to me.
Okay. You want me to call Blumenau and tell her that you're here to get this girl that Blumenau thinks is so important? I'm not disagreeing with you, my friend.
She already knows I'm here. I'm not making that mistake again. Now you can give her a call and
Okay.
talk.
All right. Let's get down to my car then, and we will call her on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, you drive me there and again, all right, for the moment. Yeah, who knows what happened to Jimmy? Who knows? Dangerous part of town.
Clara. So tell me how Natalie is feeling. She has been let out by herself for the first time since getting here, and she's wandering around the cool aisles of Walgreens, picking up the shopping. What are you up to? What are you feeling?
That's exactly what she's doing. She's trying to get through it as quickly as possible because she do not want to be there at all. If anyone is trying to talk to her or looks at her for too long, she just removes herself from the situation. She is incredibly uncomfortable.
When you approach the counter with your groceries, the man on the other side smiles. Are you okay, miss?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, you just... I just like to check. Okay, I'll scan your items through. It's rare to do a big shop like this late at night. Do you work at one of the casinos?
No. Plus, just scan my things, please.
You feel a presence behind you. Someone taller.
I turn
I'll be with
around.
you in a moment.
There's a shifty-looking guy, and it is quite clearly in his hands a shotgun. It's not pointed at you, it's pointed at the floor, but he looks at you, twitches a bit, and then points it over your shoulder at the store owner and says, Open the register! Open the register! Open the fucking register! And someone at the door of the Walgreens slams the door shut. It's alright, the place is empty but for her. You heard me, open the register. If you sound an alarm, I'll blow her head off first.
Natalie is not moving at all. She's just standing there, completely terrified. Yeah, that's what she's doing. She's hoping that the situation just goes over by itself and she doesn't get hurt, but she's not moving.
No. And you don't need to... Well, this isn't a situation that a mortal would tend to get involved in, and after all, you're not kindred anymore. But nonetheless, could you do a resolve plus composure roll?
Yes. I get 1 success.
1 success is enough to give you a flicker of a memory. You feel a memory of a memoriam, if you like, of a time when in a situation like this, you would have just burst into action. Not in a superhero way, but in an extreme violence kind of way. And you feel like there was someone in your life that somehow dampened that. You can't put names to faces or even faces together, but you can feel that urge of needing to release something inside you, a temper that just isn't there. Like you've been through something like this before.
It has been a long time since Natalie has remembered anything about herself. Especially parts of personality. It would be different memories about other people, but not about who she was. It gives her enough strength in the situation to look at her surroundings and figure out a escape route. And She tries to duck under. I'm guessing he has the shotgun on her shoulder. She's trying to duck and remove herself.
Okay. Could I ask then for some kind of dexterity and athletics roll?
Yep.
And let's see how this guy responds.
No successes.
Okay. In that case, you provoke him. You duck down. You can duck, you know, you're not just going to suddenly suffer paralysis, but you duck, and he pulls the trigger. It blasts part of the counter apart. The man behind the counter shouts out and ducks down, lays down flat. This probably isn't his first robbery. You've now got this thief, this burglar, pointing the shotgun in your face from where you are squatted down. You weren't able to duck away, and he says, one more move, and this goes straight through your fucking eye. You can hear the guy on the other side of the counter crying and saying, please don't, please just empty the register, please, no blood, and you start getting more memories. Blood, spilled blood, violence, death, onslaught. You remember bodies. Your eyes going to the fridges in this Walgreens. You remember the bodies on display somewhere. Refrigerated bodies. A morgue, maybe? You are looking as well down the barrel of this shotgun, a long, dark tunnel. Feels like you've passed through a long, dark tunnel to get to this place. And it's like his voice is in slow motion. Get down and stay the fuck down!
Natalie, again, this is completely new for her. It is such an overwhelming wave of emotions and confusion that she suddenly now starts to remember what has been going on in her life. She remembers danger, a lot of danger in her previous life. She remembers that blood was of importance, and she remembers that she was powerful. She could do more than she does now, that's for sure. She remembers a certain energy, and that energy is attached to her veins, but she can't really pinpoint what it is. Natalie is gonna try and kick the shotgun out of his hand while he's standing there pointing it at her, if she can reach it with her feet.
It will be a hard roll, but you can try. The repercussions for failing could be awful. You'll need to do a dexterity and brawl. If in your previous life you had any dots in potence, you can use them.
Okay. I get 5 successes.
From your position, you do what amounts to a bit of a backward roll. It's not elegant, but it's enough to use your toe to kick the shotgun up and out of the guy's hands. He wasn't expecting resistance, and as it fires up, it of course stays on his finger, and blam! Into the ceiling tiles, scatter white powder, grey dirt, just falling all over the store. Are you going to try and scamper away? Or do something different?
Is the doors open?
No, it seems one of these other burglars is at the door to make sure no one else comes in.
Am I seeing any escape doors, like fire escapes or anything?
Yes, accessible via the other side of the counter.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get to it.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll, because frankly it would be ludicrous if you tried jumping and just went, "Gah!" on the counter. You jump over the counter and land on the storekeeper. Ah! He is laying down back there, so, your feet just go ooh into his back in a rather painful massage. We go outside to the front of the store. From one direction, we have Isaiah Ali, and we also have Sasha, and we also have Julia, and they are pulling up outside Luxembourg House. However, it's only on the other side of the street, and so as they're climbing out of the vehicle, you both hear the BLAM! That's the first shotgun blast. And in the short space of time it takes to look at each other over the hood, BLAM! A second shotgun blast in that Walgreens over there. On the other side of the street, we have showing up John Smith with Thomas Zingaretti, casino proprietor. And as you're pulling up, you hear the same bam bam of a shotgun going off in the Walgreens. Now, as a natural course, it wouldn't necessarily be your business to get involved in a crime in progress. But Isaiah and Sasha, what's your action? You're already out on the street.
I'm gonna hit premonition again. I look at the Walgreens and where all of this is happening and ask the Lord to grant me wisdom, which is 7 with a crit.
You see, glowing with radiance, running in slow motion from the fire escape at the back of this Walgreens, a young woman glowing with life. A young woman that you know through your premonition is the woman that you are seeking.
Which one of us is driving?
We'll say Julia was driving. But then you see a man appear in the fire escape behind her with the shotgun leveled at her back.
I just kind of zone out for a second, and then I just say, Julia, drive behind that store, now!
Yes. I assume, you're both getting back into the car for this?
I don't explain, I'm just like, to the back, now.
Sasha has a moment of hesitation, but once Isaiah is extremely into going back into the car and driving back, there's just no question going back after it.
Okay then, screech, and you turn rather elegantly, I have to say. Julia's not a bad driver. Around into the loading alley behind the Walgreens, where you can see the fire escape just cracking open and the light shining from within. However, we then have John. John, you arrived outside the front of the Walgreens while this was going on. You heard the blasts. Zingaretti looks at you, looks at the guy in the front window by the door, and knowingly says, "Think it's a hold-up. We should probably stay out of this."
I frown a little as I glance over, probably then noticing another car suddenly screeching off somewhere. And what do I assess of the situation from what I can see as I'm driving past?
As you say, you see another car, a town car, just disappear round the corner. It had only just parked as you were parking, so it seems a bit strange. It's clearly not a getaway vehicle. And in the store itself, you can see this very pale, shaved head, bit blonde guy in tracksuit, hoodie. You can see, in fact, in his hand, barely concealed, a small pistol. But what is, in a way, most striking is the sudden flickering of light inside the Walgreens. One of these shotgun shells has probably blasted through a junction box.
Take us round the back. Let's just avoid the front there. We don't want that. And I'm kind of just curious.
Well, why are we going to a Walgreens?
I don't know. I just want to see who those people that.
That's the place. He points at Luxembourg House.
I kind of, while I'm thinking that over, I think time passes. I'm just sort of debating whether to go, left or right, as it were.
Listen, leave this to the cops. We'll go into Luxembourg House. Hell, this might be a good distraction, as long as I can get some more of your Vitae.
I begin driving past, but as I do so, I'm just scanning to see if I can see anything that would draw my attention.
Clara. You burst out of the fire exit and see there is a car bonnet right there in front of you with a very scared looking woman in spectacles behind the wheel, and in the back seats and climbing out of the back seats, I assume, we have Isaiah and Sasha.
Yeah, I just open the door and I just point and I just say, "Come, we will help you. Come. There is a gunman on your pursuing you."
Is that her?
It is. Yes.
All right.
Natalie is gonna run in. She's not even gonna think. Like, there's an escape route, she's gonna take it. Oh my god, please drive. Please drive.
Go, Julia, go.
Yes, Mr. Ali, go. She puts it in reverse. At which point, crash! You smash into the side of John's car as he pulls up at the back of the Walgreens.
To that, I react with a "What the fuck?"
I'm sorry, Mr. Ali, I'm sorry. At least it isn't our car.
I immediately glance over, trying to dismiss whoever these people are quickly, but I just give them a quick once-over. Who the hell's in this car?
Where's the shotgun-wielding man? Because in my vision, he was right behind her.
Yep, he has just emerged from the fire escape with a shotgun. He has got it pointed at the windscreen. He sees that your car has just backed into someone else's. He's probably not thinking, he's probably tweaking on something anyway. And you see him raise the shotgun in a huntsman's position, as if to take a shot. And John, you can have a quick scan of who's in the car, and sure enough, you recognise the face of Natalie. And yes, she looks a lot healthier and alive than you remember.
My eyes widen, a second passes, I look at people in a car I don't know not pointing guns at Natalie, and person pointing shotgun at Natalie, and I just quickly out the rearview mirror, take my pistol out and aim at this guy. I say, "Drop it! Drop it, you son of a bitch!"
Okay, well, if you're just taking aim, he's going to take a shot. Okay, to your great distress, potential. Well, if Isaiah is ever distressed, I don't know. To your surprise, the guy lets loose with his shotgun. It blasts through the windscreen and catches Julia in the throat and shoulder. Her head is knocked back against the driver's seat, and she's reaching back. Mr. Ali, please help me.
I look at her while she's bleeding like this, and I just bite my thumb and put some of my blood on her tongue and open the door of the car.
What are you doing? You need to help her.
No, stay here.
We have to call an ambulance.
Here. And I pull a very large knife out, and when I'm down behind the car, the moment nobody's looking, I unseen passage.
Clara, I'm just going to explain. As you are seeing this gout of blood, probably some of it sprays on you. You get a bit of that mist effect. Therefore, half of your face, given that you climbed into the front with her, is now coated in crimson. You are again taken back. It's another flash of memory. This is more memory than you have had in your entire last few months at Luxembourg House. You even taste some of the blood because the blast made you open your mouth in surprise, and it hits your lips, hits the tip of your tongue, it hits your teeth. Julia, as she's bleeding, is bringing you back to the taste of blood, and it isn't a revolting taste. It isn't off-putting. It's actually alarmingly desirable. It's, in fact, the best thing you have ever tasted, and it stretches all the way down to your core. How glorious this warm, thick flavour is.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the scenario Return to Atlantic City for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Our storyteller was Matthew Dawkins, with Craig being joined by B. Dave Walters, Outstar, and our dear friend Clara Herbal. Return to Atlantic City was originally streamed at Onyx PathCon 2021. Part of the profits from Onyx PathCon went to the Bodhana Group, which is a non-profit that advocates the use of tabletop gaming as a directed, therapeutic, and clinical practice that can benefit personal growth as well as enhance social and educational services to individuals and families. You can check this great cause out at thebothanagroup.org, and you can find a link in the show notes. The music was made by Atrium Carceri and was used with permission from Cryochamber. Check them out at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more music for your gaming table. We'd like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon: Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Ludwig Manford, Bob Lange, and Julián for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, this show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of the Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember, death is not the end.